Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to be installing a ceiling fan just like this one here, and we're going to match this one. So what we had to do is we had to find the style of ceiling fan this was. We had to make some phone calls. We had to check out some different stores. So now we've located the ceiling fan. This is the type we're going to install. We're ready to install our ceiling fan. The ceiling fan came in just 2 boxes. This is all you're going to get when you get to the store. Believe it or not, our ceiling fan fits in here. We're going to have our fan blades in here, and everything else is going to be in here. When you get ready to open the ceiling fan box, make sure that it's facing upwards, because the heaviest part of the ceiling fan is going to be the motor. That's going to be into the bottom of the box. You want to make sure you don't open the wrong end of the box because there's a lot of weight on there. All right, once you get ready to open the box, you're just going to open the box, and then we're going to pull out the top of it, and we're going to separate. We're going to pull out all the parts out of the bags and make sure everything's here. Kind of gets things sorted a little bit, so we got a clear understanding about it. Take out the instruction booklet. We've got an instruction booklet here. All ceiling fans do. And we're just going to kind of pull the parts out. At this point, the main body of the ceiling fan is still in the box. Just leave that alone. Okay, here's all my bags that came out of there. I'm just going to open up all these bags and kind of sort things out and see where I go from here. Okay, we got all the parts out, and you'll notice I put a piece of craft paper, my good old craft paper that I like to use. I cut a little piece of that, and I've laid that down first. That way when I put everything out, I don't get them lost in the carpet and that kind of thing. It makes it a little bit easier to work with. Now this is the extent of everything that's in the box that we're going to use. It doesn't look like that much, actually. The fan housing too, and the fan blades. But this fan does not have a light assembly. If you get a fan that has a fan light assembly at the bottom of it, obviously you're going to have a lot more parts. But it's best to open it up, look at all your parts, kind of look at the direction booklet, and first off see if all the parts are there. Make sure that you understand what's going on, and so you have a better feel for it. You'll see there's I've separated the screws in different little piles. There's going to be 2 different sizes of screws, so it's really important to keep those separated, because you don't want to use the wrong screws for the wrong application. Okay, so we're ready for the next step. Okay, grab the other box. This is the box for the fan blades. We're just going to open that and kind of set those off to the side. We'll make sure we find out which ones of these are going to go with that. We'll separate the screws. We'll just kind of sort things a little bit further at this point. Okay, I got my fan blades out. Now I'm going to read the directions a little bit. Kind of get yourself familiar with your project before you get all gung-ho into it. The worst thing you can do is start thinking you don't have to read the directions. Guys out there, you know what I'm talking about. You start, and all of a sudden something's going to happen towards the end, and it's going to be it's going to bite you in the end if you don't read those directions. Make sure you read the directions, familiarize yourself, and you'll be way better off, trust me. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of push the fan blades out of the way, and the fan arm assemblies and the screws. So I only have a few little things to work with, and I'm going to pull the motor out now. Okay, on your fan, make sure you read everything before you start pulling it out. Look at that. It says, to prevent damage to motor and wiring, never lift motor unit by the wires. And what they're referring to are these small wires. Don't just jerk this whole motor assembly out with these wires. These are very thin gauge wires. So please read your directions. I mean, you could damage the inside of the unit. Once you get it all done, you might find out that it's not going to work. It's going to be because you've pulled on here. So don't do that. I'm going to show you how to get it out of this box. Okay, this unit is protected by styrofoam all the way around it, a styrofoam container. So I'm just going to set this down, put my feet by the side of the box, grab the whole styrofoam container, lift it out. You want to get it out of the box like that. You don't, at this point, you don't have to take it out of this. Just leave this in here, and we'll start reading the directions now. It might take a few minutes to get this in there because you want to make you're pushing this cotter pin or this rod through in between the wires, so you just kind of have to gently do it back and forth. You take the little cotter pin, push it in here and until it's snapped into place like that. Do not tighten these up yet. Okay, we have our knuckle on here. Now we're going to take that loose pin. You remember? There's two holes here. You can just drop that right now if you want. You're going to slip this in here through the wires, and it's just going to stick out, you know, 1/4 inch on both sides, whatever. Read your directions. Each fan assembly could be slightly different. I'm basically explaining to you the steps, and once you look at this video and your directions, you'll be more inclined to feel like you can do it. I'm going to slip this up in here, and I'm just going to look and see which notches I want to utilize. Now this is a flat ceiling, so it really doesn't matter where this notch fits. It just matters where I feel comfortable off of my ladder, how I'm going to lift the fan up and fit it down into this notch. Now if you were on a cathedral ceiling, this would be at an angle, so there's a little notch in here where the knuckle fits in. You would want that angled downward. But here it's not going to matter, okay? So however you feel comfortable fitting that up. I'm going to make this notch fit towards me so that you guys can see what I'm doing, and I'm going to screw this up in here now.